Alright, what up, what up? That's what's up. Late ill kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul. What is up, my people? Today, all year, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right, Nerd Soul Sports. We ain't playing up in here. We doing it up. We might have some special guests later on. We have someone who. Are you supposed to be over here? You sure you're supposed to be over here? No. No, you're not supposed to be over here. Yes. Anyway, right over here, you know him, Conspiracy P, Black Kanye, you know what I'm saying, Long Beach Hove, and Trap Just Blaze. Parker Lewis, what's up?
What's going on, world? It's your boy Parker PL Lewis, Lewyz. You can check me out at parkerplewis.com or on all streaming sites and all social media platforms. Let's get it.
Yeah. And of course, big shout out to Marquise Collins in the chat early. Oh, big shout out to, oh man, I almost forgot. Let me give a big shout out to Justin yesterday. Yesterday, Justin hit her brother up with that Cash App. Do not sleep. I gotta give you some love for hitting the Cash App up. You know what I'm saying? Much love for the support. Much love for those people that come through on whether it's Super Chat, Cash App, Patreon, help support the show, making more shows, trying to go independent. You know the idea. We're trying to go independent, all right? And we need money to do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, we all love the money that jingles. But we rather the kind that folds. So big shout out to Justin.
Man.
Yo, big shout out to Justin, and thank you guys for sharing, liking, and all that jazz. Because we got some stories to get into. But before we get started, I did want to go on and give some love to Hank Aaron transitioning, going on to the next part of his journey. It was one of those things where it's kind of like you understand, 86. It's around that time, you transition and you move on. So that's understandable. But just, thinking back on the history, like the home run king, the Hammer and Hank, all that stuff, and just being another one of those pioneers, playing the sport when it wasn't so, when it wasn't so easy. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like, racism in baseball or any sport is fixed, but that overt was the name of the game back then, and overt, which we've been seeing lately. You know what I'm saying? It ain't your favorite. So now, Arckatron's not here. We gonna holler at him later. No, we ain't gonna call him. See, Arckatron, see what happens when you don't show up. So. Here. No, we ain't gonna call him. So shouts to Hank Aaron, all of his family and friends that I'm sure have been, touched by this. It's good to see a lot of people online that were showing him love, and a lot of people saying, hey, it's time to get that movie about him and stuff like that. With that said, because I saw a couple of people talking about a movie. First, what are your thoughts on, just Hank Aaron in general, PL? And then also, what are your thoughts on the movie?
A true pioneer for the sport. As a black kid that grew up loving baseball, like he was one of the guys that you looked at, especially with him being Hammer and Hank, the true home run record holder. It's a sad day. Of course, he was 86, getting up there, but it's just a sad day, man. It's a sad day.
Yeah.
As far as go ahead.
We losing our legends. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for new legends to appear.
That is true, but it's like you hit it right on the head, man. We are losing all of our legends fast too. Not even like they're expeditiously, like kind of expeditiously. True pioneer, handled all of that racism and all of that with class and grace and like, yo, man, just a different breed of dude from all of the stories that you hear about him. It's just a different dude. Like, and this is like in a different time. Like, this ain't like this. Oof, yeah, man, we lost a good one today. We lost a good one.
And big shout out to there was a user that was talking about him getting a movie, and I replied to it. And let me see if I can pull it up real quick, because I did feel a certain way. Not saying that I don't think Hank Aaron should get a movie. So that's definitely not where I'm going with this. But just thinking about it in general, how these things go, it did kind of, it made me stop for a second. And the Twitter user, Juwan Robinson, rest in peace, says, I would like for someone to make a Hank Aaron movie from his youth age till death and his life growing up facing racism, trying to break the Babe record and all that. And kind of my response to him was, I do want that movie. I honestly do. But something just worries me that what they're going to do is try to softball the experience he went through and make it seem like, oh, well, it's just a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, no.
And, because, love, shouts out to Jenna James in the chat. Much love to Disney. But, when they did that 42, they softballed the racism.
It was coated in a little bit of sugar.
They made it seem like he dealt with 2 racist encounters and like that was it.
Right.
And I was worried how they were going to handle it. And then when I saw it, I was like, man, I really wish the family would have allowed Spike Lee to make the movie that he wanted to make a long time ago. But that might have been a little too militant too.
Right. So I don't know if I would hand Spike that task. I might give what's the kid's name? I call him a kid. He's probably older than me. Nate Parker.
Oh, not a bad look.
I give him a shot with that.
Yeah. So I'd love to see Hank Aaron's story. I'm scared that they might try to softball that thing and make it seem like, oh, there was just a couple people that didn't like him a lot, and it's like,
Like I want the true Hollywood story behind Hank. Like I want all keep it don't cut cut at all.
Like stay real. That wrong cut.
Please.
Have y'all OD because it's never enough.
I want to know how Hank really felt. Because at some point, like you hear these stories, right, about him receiving like 3,000 pieces of hate mail a day. Like imagine 3,000 people took the time to write. This is not email where you can clickety clack. You had to go write, get a piece of paper, get a
and then
pen,
be like,
write it, get an envelope, get a stamp, mail all this. Like fam, like
you really hated this dude.
Come on.
So shouts to Tyler Bennett in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Nice to see y'all talk about what we getting into tonight. So, with that said, much love to the life, the journey, the legacy, the memory of Hank Aaron, and we're gonna get into Bed-Stuy. Yeah, we're gonna. You know what? Look, let's. Okay, before we get into Bed-Stuy, I want to give love to Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving this week showed love to the family of George Floyd. Well, maybe he might not have done it this week, but since our last time on the show, it was reported that he bought a home for George Floyd's family. So that's what's up. Shouts to him for looking out for them. He a real one for that. you know, because there's many people that could have stood up before he stood up and handled that. So I give him his props on that one. So let's get into Bed-Stuy.
I feel a butt coming.
But we got to talk about Bed-Stuy. We got to talk about them Brooklyn Nets.
All right, what we do now?
All right, so we gotta we gotta talk about the team. See, the team is supposed to be a super team, all right? And they couldn't get past the Cavs. They've been stumbling this week. They've been having some. Maybe it's just new kinks. They got to get out the new kinks because they got Kevin Durant, they got Kyrie Irving, and they got James Harden.
Can I provide a brief explanation?
Please do.
Okay.
Good sir.
Now, when you have three guys that are used to being the man on their respective teams, it is hard for these three men to now combine and say, nah, you take a turn, or nah, it's hard. And then I think we were talking about it earlier. If we want to get technical, the first Nets game, we should have won. Kyrie should have hit the free throws. They called the bogus call where Sexton flopped, looked like somebody shot him.
Man, nah. Yo, Sexton had your whole squad. Come on, we got to give Sexton his props.
He looked like somebody shot him. Like he's in the Matrix. Like, nah, man, get out of here. That's exactly what he did. And got away with it low-key. Even though the call got reversed, Kyrie never got to shoot his free throws. Hence, we go to overtime. And then he just went OFF. Like, what can you do about that? But like I was saying to someone earlier, like, yo, like, I say we, like I'm on the team. I have been a lifelong Nets fan, but I try to stop myself from saying the whole we thing. The Nets, they'll be fine. I think they just got to play some defense. Like somebody, anybody, just got to step up and play some defense. And I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Mr. Jordan. I know you're watching the show, Mr. Jordan. I'm looking at you.
You watching that show? Look, all right, peep this.
I'm looking at you.
Peep this. All right, so I'm watching. I'm like, look, when they traded for James Harden, I was like, what he gonna do? What he do? They already got Kyrie Irving. What he gonna do?
They don't do the same thing.
They don't do the same thing. True, but they essentially play the same role.
They don't, low key.
I mean, they don't, but they do. They like these guys.
I know what you're trying to. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. You're technically not wrong. NERDSoul, you're not wrong. But if you really brought out the magnifying glass, they're really not, fam. They're like opposite. Like Kyrie don't want to low key. I love Kyrie. I love him. Him and passing the ball don't really get along.
Kyrie, so what you're trying to say is Kyrie be dribbling mad long.
Kyrie, he's better suited. He's better suited as a shooting guard. What? James Harden is better suited as a point guard. Who's leading the league in assists, by the way? It's the guy number 13. That guy with Harden. So it's like, no, it's so somebody gotta play some defense, man. Somebody gotta play some defense.
KD used to play D.
Who?
KD used to play defense.
He still does, but the man just came back from an Achilles surgery, and then the coach just played him 50 minutes in the first game back. Like, are we just trying to Are we trying to ruin our $35 million investment? Like, what are we trying to do here?
Yo, and speaking of speaking of
What are we
50
doing?
minutes just coming back, shouts to Tyler Bennett. He said that Bed-Stuy is just Warrior knockoffs. I mean, hey, you heard it here first. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't even call it a Warrior knockoff, Tyler. I wouldn't even call it a Warrior knockoff. As much as I love my Nets, that Warriors team was way better because they had Draymond. They had somebody that actually played defense. Yeah, Kevin, you go score. Yeah, Steph, you go run around and you go do your thing. Clay's just gonna be Clay. But that dude in the middle, Draymond wasn't having none of that. So if it's like it's Warriors. It's not even. I wouldn't even call it a knockoff. That component is missing. It's just missing.
So peep this. Thomas D said Kyrie out there making N1 mixtapes. Yo,
it's a whole. I mean, why not? What else would you expect from a team in New York? Like, what else would you expect?
Man, look, I'm a keep it real with y'all. I'm so glad that N1 mixtape like era is over. I'm so glad.
I miss certain people from that era. I don't miss the era. I miss certain people from that era.
Man, that era used to get on my nerves.
Like, yeah, the people that was a very bad time for basketball. If we gonna keep it a buck, that was a very bad time for because all right, you used to watch this, right? You used to watch these guys play, and you could obviously see that they were skilled, right?
Yeah.
Obviously see that these were skilled, uber talented individuals. Couldn't play 2 minutes in an NBA game.
Yep. And see, that's the thing. The good thing about that particular time in N1 and in the league and all that is that we were finally able to put down, put it all down on wax and say, see, you can't make it in the league. Like, stop it. I know you dope at Rucker. I know you dope there.
I know you dope in the park, son. I know you get, but out here
it's not the same.
Not even that's not the same. All them hot sauce, diggly dig, the moves and those are all illegal.
Those are all illegal mad carries, son.
Right now. Like what are we talking about?
They be having the ball, be carrying the ball.
Like you can't do any of that. You're all of that. You can't do any of your trick moves. You can't shoot because you're spending all your time learning new trick moves. So you're not practicing shooting at all. Like what? Why are you here?
Thomas D said Skip went to the league. Yeah, and what happened?
Show me another. No. That's a great pick. That's a great call. Because he's the only success. He's the only successful one. Name another one. Shout out to Skip. No, I'm not disrespecting.
Yeah,
shout out to Skip.
Skip is dope on the court. On the court as far as like in the park. But when you saw him in the pros, he was just okay.
You know why Skip was different? You know why? Skip played college ball. At a major D1 school.
All right, so that does make a difference.
It wasn't just the N1 mixtape shit.
It does make a difference.
It was a huge difference. Like, name me another one. But shout out to Skip. Because Skip used to ball, too.
Yo. Man, that whole... I'm just glad it's over. But...
Yeah, I meant... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Nah, you good.
No. I was saying I don't really miss the era because it was just a bad time as far as everybody wanted to be a hot dog. Nobody wanted to learn fundamentals. It was a bad time for basketball. But like I said, I do like or do like. It's cool to see like a few people from that era that are still that made something of themselves. Skip being one of them. Escalade being one of them. Shout out for the big boys. To a lesser extent, Professor, because he's still out here doing this at 30 something, like, so we can't knock it. So it's like,
man,
shout out to them for doing what they did.
Professor. Yeah, but Professor, I be seeing him on Twitter. He's still doing his thing.
He's still doing his thing.
He's still doing his thing. So no, no diss. It's just I'm glad.
From the it's more dub, man.
Finally, we got Mark Dub from Blerdish in. He's coming in. He's on.
Yes. I finally have come home and jumped into the melee. Yo, man, the Professor, man, it was fun. I didn't know he was as short as he was, and like he's 5'6".
Yeah.
Like, so as good a ball handling, and he actually can, I mean, he can shoot. That cat developed his skill, but as good a ball handler is, he's so small, man. 5'6".
Yeah.
He just wasn't going to make it, man. And
Thomas
it's
D
funny
said,
because those dudes are highly skilled, but it was amazing to me how that never translated into being able to play in the league.
They lacked that one essential talent. They never, like I was saying earlier, everybody spent time working on the dribble moves. Everybody forgot to spend time on actually shooting the ball.
Yeah. It's funny because I look at a skill set like a James Harden has very similar. Man, can't nobody stay in front of that dude. Jesus. It's really, but Barkley made a comment, and it's so true. He said, KD left the Splash Brothers and went to the Dribble Brothers. And it's so spot on. I want to see, man. I don't know, man. I want to see James succeed, but I don't see how it's going to work. Unless they get another ball on the court.
To play, I said this earlier too. I think we're fine. The only thing we have to do is learn to play some defense. Like, somebody's got to play some defense. Like, all right, instead of scoring 30 tonight, James, you know that dude that you're guarding, instead of letting him score 32, let's stop. Let's hold him to like 20.
Yeah, this is like, come on, man. Now,
hey, Kyrie, instead of letting Sexton go off for like 42, like, let's hold him to like 25 or something. Like, somebody, man. Like, somebody's got to step up on that side of the ball.
Jimmy said it best.
If they expend
they need to get
energy,
some bench help.
If they expend energy on the defensive side, then they feel like it's going to take away from their offensive potency.
They shouldn't, because their offensive potency is so it's so natural. It's so easy. All three of them dudes are walking buckets. At any point, you can give them the ball, and they're going to get a bucket or go to the free throw line. At any time. Any of them.
All right, now peep this. Tyler Bennett has come in with some hot takes. Says, you need heart to play D, and none of them brothers have no heart. And then said, a team full of soy boys. And James said, you got to learn to play D and get some type of bench help. So, yo, man.
We ain't got no defense, man. The only one who acts like he wants to play defense from time to time is KD.
Yeah.
And I'm not, hey, man, hold on. KD, before this Achilles injury, I don't know if you want to check the stats. When he was at Golden State, if you look at the top 5 in blocks, for the whole NBA, you'll see his name there. Right. Okay, like he was the only one that low key plays D out of our 3. He's the only one that kind of plays D.
Now we ain't the only ones talking about people needing to step their game up. This week, your boy Shaq Daddy, Shaquille O'Neal, focused on Donovan Mitchell. And he told him, paraphrasing basically, like, look, kid, you got some skills, but you'll never make it. You're never going to be good enough. You're never going to get to the highest levels. And so he gave him a little tongue lashing, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Told him about himself. And Donovan Mitchell replied with, all right.
Humble. I mean, what else was he supposed to say?
Like, all right.
That's your opinion. Watch me work.
Watch me work. Yo. And so, you know, Shaq was like, that's what I like to hear. That's what nah, you was expecting to get a response.
Nah, get out of here with that. Like, all right, between, like, okay, like him and Barkley, there's a couple other people. Hey, man, I know y'all believe y'all got these highly intelligent basketball minds and y'all think y'all got it. And, hey, man, I need both of y'all. If ain't no, I need both of y'all to peel it back a little bit. Just peel it back a little bit. Like, that's not even a way, like, I get what Shaq was trying to do. He's basically trying to, like, encourage the kid. Yeah. Like, yo, go out and put in more work to be the man that you want to be. Like, I get that. Yeah. But there's a way better way of saying that. And much fam, better. Don't tell me that after I just dropped 30, 40-something points and led my team to victory. Who are you? I wish if I was 7 feet tall and 300 pounds too, I'd be all right.
Thomas D says Shaq just big. Now hold up. I know we all know Big Shaq because he's in the most recent memory. But go back, that OG Shaq, that brand new Orlando Magic Shaq,
that 93, 94 Shaq.
Man, he was for real. He was for real.
He was a monster, man. He was for real.
He
was so big and so agile for a big man. There really wasn't anybody who could stop him. But
was he 7 feet? Was he 7 feet tall and 300 pounds in 93, 94?
Yes, he was.
Oh, okay,
right. But yo, that's the thing. Like, he has been a real big hater since his career has been over. Like, cause
it's not cool.
He went at Dame Lillard. He rapped against Dame Lillard.
He had a straight beef.
Man, you know, it's so funny. Shout out to my guy Marcel, man, because he's a big Shaq fan, and he was like, yo, I think Shaq kind of went at him. I said, yeah, but then Dame spanked him. It was some don't do this no more type of action.
Jenna James said Orlando Shaq was Thanos, LA Shaq was Darkseid. Yeah, it's Shaq Fu. That's right, Marquis. You know what I'm saying? Shaq Fu. That's what, get your game up until you can be a Shaq Fu. Until then, are you in blue chips too? No. All right. All right, forget that. So Shaq wasn't the only one. Shaq wasn't the only one out there telling other players, you know what I'm saying, about themselves. Now, this is an interesting story because I learned something I did not know. Your boy, Karl Malone, not related to Post Malone, was speaking about Zion Williamson. Said Zion needs to be averaging like 40 minutes per game. You're a 21-year-old kid. Your butt shouldn't be getting tired. Now, of course, this sounds just like old school hate, but during this Twitter thread of people coming out of Karl Malone, because I'm like, dude, that's unwarranted. And somebody was like, yo, when you were like 22, you were only playing 20 minutes a game as well. But anyway, all of a sudden, I started to find out, apparently, Karl Malone had a baby with a 13-year-old kid when he was 20?
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I'm from Louisiana, and I mean, it's funny, there are a few Karl Malone fans here, but most of us understand, like, yo, his daughter and his son, who both played at the pro level, you know, his daughter, she said he was never in my life. Like, she made it to the league, and that's when he, like, embraced her. And she
was like, no, I'm cool.
But his son, he had a son that played pro football, and he tried to come into his life, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good." Like me and my mom were poor and struggled, and I think he was the one who his mom was 13 when Malone impregnated her. Like so,
Wow.
and he let her struggle, and the kid went pro, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm good on you."
Yep.
Yo, man, I never knew. Like I looked up, I was like, hold up, because somebody said something like, they were like, yeah, someone on Twitter said something like, Zion might not have played a lot of minutes, but at least he's not a pedophile. And I was like, huh? Who's a pedophile?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. I was like, who? Then the Google fingers started.
That's
Started
like
going down, the Google fingers got busy.
And like my grandma used to say, like a lot of grandmas used to say, you shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
Man.
You really shouldn't.
Shorty was 13. How did this? I'm still trying to figure out how this flies. Like, how in the world this flies at all? Like, what in the world was going on?
Bro, he's black and rich and famous and had impregnated like, yo, how does this happen? And we don't find out about it until way after his career is over.
Swept under the rug. Money.
Yo, man.
It's crazy.
Look where he played. He played in Utah. Imagine what you think it was only one?
Nah, I
Man.
don't. You know, cats who do stuff like that and get away with it, they keep doing it because they get away with it.
Man,
shout out to our former I impeached twice impeached president, former president. I'm imitating an oak tree. I'm being shady. Shout out to him. Twice impeached.
It's yo, man. I was surprised. First, I was just like, look at Karl Malone, Hatin. Why you even nobody even asked you.
Nobody.
Nobody asked Jerry Curl having Duke box wearing self nothing. But here you come, and you a pedophile too. Like, man, bruh, if you don't
like, you
get
should be
your
very, very
R.
quiet.
Kelly basketball dribbling self down, so we can go on with this season. I was like, what is going on here? So I learned something new this week, y'all. I never knew. Like Karl Malone.
Man, I know a few cats that are Malone and Stockton fans. You know, they rep him because he's from Louisiana. I was like, nah.
Like, nah, that's not the one.
I don't even think he lives here anymore. I think he's still in Utah or somewhere. Like, somewhere where big corny Negroes go and live. Definitely like Salt Lake City. Like, that's where he is.
Oh, man.
And he can stay there.
Yeah, ain't nobody trying. Jenna James said him and R. Kelly, distant cousins, they gotta be. And then, of course, Keith came in. Karl had one time to be great. His wax self knees gave out on the Lakers again. F Malone. So, yo, them knees said, ah. But all that said, this week we had some older, elder statesmen. Well, one is an elder statesman, another one is just a pedophile. But it's hating on the young players. Look, you know what I'm saying? Stop hating on the young players. You're supposed to kick the truth to the young black youth. That's all I'm saying.
Please.
Thank you. Kick the truth. You know what I'm saying? Stop being a hater.
Man, let Zion do his thing. Let Zion be great. Zion is already playing in New Orleans, man. Come on, he needs help. And y'all ain't got no help for him, no respite. The only time he gonna get help is when he leave, like everybody else. So just let Zion do his thing. Let us enjoy him in New Orleans for a couple of years without all that hate.
I don't think he leaving. He ain't leaving New Orleans no time soon, man.
I don't want him to. I love.
Don't worry, he ain't going nowhere. Don't worry. What they've learned from the Anthony Davis experience, they learned from that. Trust and believe. Zion ain't going no. Him and B.I. is going to be lifelong Pelicans.
Oh, wow. Lifelong Pelicans, though.
Yeah, don't worry. They broke bread with B.I. They were like, hey, we want you to stay here.
You see how fast they broke the bread with P.I.?
You know what? It's because they were so slow to do it with other players that, like, New Orleans is almost like the Clippers. Like, players go there and learn how to play the game and be great, and then go somewhere else to win championships.
I'm not even that, man. The Pelicans is like the Pelicans. They move like we would if we owned a team, right?
Yeah, it's like, come on, man.
Like, we knew B.I. had the contract extension coming up, but he was like, you know what, let me see what you gonna do before. It's like, you know, let me get a test run real quick. Before we give you this big money, let me see, like, let me make sure, let me see what I'm getting. That's how the Pelicans move. They move like...
They move like
what I'm
old
trying
dudes.
to say, man.
And Tyler Bennett said Zion just got to make sure he get healthy. Zion better stop playing and get on that Barry Bonds program. I'm just saying. He'll come back next season looking sweet.
No, I don't want him to get on Barry Bonds' program.
No.
Barry Bonds' hat size went up 2 sizes because he was on them. I'm serious.
Zion needs a personal chef for every meal. He needs one for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner.
A sensible dinner.
This is specialized.
Hey, it is so hard in New Orleans. All the food is good, and all the food is fattening and will kill you. But yo, they got a lot of black chefs out there who are like making our family type food real healthy. So he need to hire one of them.
He need one for every meal of the day.
Man, like,
I mean, but I watched him play against Utah the other night, and that is a big, strong dude. He was handling
Favors.
Rudy Gobert so bad.
He threw Favors out the way. Like,
man, he was pushing him.
NERDSoul, I don't know if you've seen this. Derek Favors is 6'10", 270, 280. He's a big dude.
And he's a
Zion went for a layup, threw his arm, and went, yeah. And Derek Favors at 6'10", 270, 280 went.
It's so funny because it looks like he's falling into the earth. Oh, bro. Yeah, bro, I saw him, like, he posted up against Gobert, and I'm like, Gobert is 7'3", and Zion is 6'6". They've been lying about that boy this whole time. Man, he bumped Gobert like twice, and Gobert was on the other side of the rim, and he just laid the ball up. I'm like, man, it must be good to be mighty.
I do want to address your boy Tyler Bennett. He said, what is it? Talking about Salt. Said Salt is the biggest killer of ninjas. No, I'm sorry. MF Doom said jealousy is the #1 killer of black folks. Just let you know that. Oh man, come on, man. You know I had to do it, but that he'll be all right. Zion will be all right. I think he'll be good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
playing.
He's a leaper, so we know the knees. Vince Carter, Kobe to some degree, but Kobe was hiring voodoo shaman to keep his knees fresh. Like, Kobe's a beast, man. Kobe's something different. Like, he went to Germany for some blood spinning technique, and it added like 5 years to his knees.
Hey fam, I'm about to say something, right? Everybody talk about all this extra stuff that Kobe did, the whole going to Germany, getting the blood work and all this, right? Mm-hmm. If you thought Kobe did some crazy stuff, what you think Bron got at the crib?
Yo, man, I know one thing Bron ain't got at the crib.
Bron probably got hospital at the crib for him.
Probably
He ain't got
so.
no-
'Cause,
Urgent
yo, they
care
say Braun
facility at
spends
the crib. Fuck you,
He ain't got no
they say
Beijing
Braun
at the
spend
crib,
over
though.
$1 million on his body every year.
every year.
Yo.
Braun been doing this so long, he don't get hurt. It was so funny because I remember last year when the Clips was supposed to beat them. The Clips was a team built to beat them.
Oh,
And-
please.
And they were saying how they Kawhi taking games off, Paul George taking games off. Braun was like, if I can play, I'm gonna play.
Yep.
And
I don't
they
need no
look-
load management.
no load management. They looked tired at the end of their series. That's why they couldn't. Twice they were down. I mean, they were up 3-1 and barely squeaked out and then lost. Braun played through all that stuff.
Jenna James said
Braun was like,
LeBron
yeah,
got
I'm gonna
urgent
manage
care
this
at the
load
crib.
down y'all throat and get you another ring. So
Look,
I-
let me keep it real with you on this one. We gonna go back in time to last season for just a second because I love to slander the Clippers because the Clippers did all this. You're here, PL. Clippers did all these banners and the, billboards and all kinds of stuff.
Everywhere.
They was on the side of the bus.
This is our town.
This is our city. Oh,
This
we
is
going for
our
the street
city.
lights, and you got city lights. And man, it was
Yo.
funny. All right.
when
So
when I
look.
visited LA last year, Mike, I saw the big billboard with Kawhi wearing a crown. It's his city.
So anyway, they got exposed. Kawhi isn't as dope as he thought he was. PG ain't as dope as he
Not going
thought
that
he
far.
was.
Nah, he's as dope as advertised. The rest of them,
Everybody else was suspect. I think
everybody
PG
else, I don't know.
Because PG
Kawhi needed help.
I ain't hear about LeBron asking for load management. I ain't hear about Giannis asking for load management. I don't hear none of these other top.
Giannis
guys.
is 27. He
Well, all right,
better not
good
be
point.
asking for no
I'll
load
give you
management.
that. He is young, but still, I don't hear none of these other guys. Here you come, and then Paul George had the nerve before the season started talking about, "Oh, Cass ain't ready for me. Y'all wait till this season. Y'all wait till I come out. Oh, I'm coming for everybody." Man, sit down. Look, I'm gonna put this on Paul George, mama. Y'all ain't gonna make it out of the first round of the playoffs this year. Straight up. I'm here talking this
that
mess.
is some slander.
Man,
but I'm here for it.
I don't
am here
believe
for it.
you. I
'Cause
don't believe you
The
anymore.
playoff predictions on NERDSoul Sports belong solely to NERDSoul.
Playoff predictions. Look, man.
I think Patrick Beverley is a terrible person, and I always want him to fail. So I was overjoyed when I saw them catch that L last year, and because him and Paul George, man, I'm a Dame Lillard fan. I think Dame is cold. Dame just need help, and he might.
He's real though. Yeah. Yo,
But
somebody need to throw some money at Dame and get that. Is Dame even looking to leave though? I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think he's looking to leave.
I don't think so. I think he's gonna be a lifelong Portland player, man. The franchise has embraced him, and
it'd be nice if they embrace some other players to help him out. You know what I mean?
They have nice players. The nice players keep getting hurt every year. They got
good point. I'll give you that. Yeah,
players.
They've been riddled with a whole lot of
every year,
man.
Like every year.
But yo, they got that kid out of Miami who won the dunk contest about 2 years ago.
Derrick Jones Jr.
Derrick Jones Jr. Say, bro, he's been a nice piece for them. He was a nice pickup, and I feel like Dame just needs some help because he's a dog, and we know he's clutch. It's so funny. PG and Patrick Beverley were talking all that noise. PG shooting stuff over the side of the basket, off the side of the backboard. Patrick Beverley, he could not fall out of a boat and hit water. And this joker is still talking all this trash, like, because Dame missed 2 free throws. And then Dame went on to fricassee everybody through the season. It's a monster in Denver, though. Jamal Murray took me by surprise. I knew he was good. I didn't know he was that good.
Shouts to Keith said Dame gonna be half a billionaire before they leave because Portland giving all the money.
He's not wrong.
Marquis said Dame got bars. Yeah, he got a little flow with him. I get it. He got a little flow. He got a little flow. He got a little something.
Rap.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he got some skills.
Dame said, like, people say, oh, Shaq is rapping, but they be like, they know I rap for real. And Shaq took offense. But like, yo, he really does rap for real. Like,
it's like, but he does be rapping.
With all due respect, hey, Mr. Diesel rap too, for real, fam.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Shaq Diesel.
Look, back in the day, like I like the Shaq with what was his name? With Fushnikins. Shaq was rapping.
Not the
I think I want to
Fushnikins
say
though.
Shaq, one of the few dudes that have a joint with Big and Pac.
Ooh,
yeah.
You know
I could be mistaken. I could be wrong. I know he's got the joint.
That could be a
Big.
trivia question right there.
I want to say he's got a joint with Pac too.
You Can't Stop the Rain.
Yes,
was a banger.
I want to say it's him and
Shaq
and he got numerous films. He got Kazam, Blue Chips. He got
You cannot start his films with Kazam. Kazam was terrible.
But he got it though. I'm just saying.
This is true.
He got it. He got paid. You know what I'm saying? Then, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Made a video game.
I mean, yo, Shaq is toys. Dope, man. Like Shaq is a half a billionaire, and
yeah,
he gives back.
Okay.
Like he's worth like 500 mil. I don't think he's a billionaire yet. And like so Shaq sell his shoes in Walmart because he was like, I want kids to be people to afford them. He's making his shoes his shoes are made in the same place where Michael Jordan's shoes are made. Same material. So there are definitely things about that dude. Like I think Diesel is dope, but he do be hating, man. And Dame called him out on it in like one of his rap. He's like, oh, big man hating.
Oh man.
Dame really bodied him. It was nasty.
It was nasty. You know, Tyler Bennett said rap snacks coming soon. Yo, don't sleep on the rap snacks, man. It's like I've never had them before, but they got all kind of rappers on them. So, you know, I support it because, you know, it's rap snacks. Come on, man. It's rap snacks. This works.
Hey, yo. So, you know, their masterpiece chips, he's got Boosie on them. So down here, you know, they went bananas when they came out. They are actually good. They taste good, but some of them do. Then they be having some BS flavors like honey jalapeno popcorn. I'm like, it sounds like a terrible night on the toilet.
Jenna James said, why Master P didn't tell Trump to free C Murder? Because he murdered somebody.
Because he ain't want to pay up.
Yo, C Murder was mad at him a couple years ago because he was like, "You not doing enough to get me out." I guess he just felt like he had enough money to where he's getting him out. And Master P was like, I have got the best lawyers I could get. You were on tape shooting at people.
Bruh, you murdered somebody, C Murder, all right? I ain't trying to say that you should be in jail, but I'm just saying, you murdered somebody, C Murder. All right?
The person shot at me first. What happened?
Oh, no. I really, from what I understand, he shot a kid. The kid was like 16 in a club who was like.
The youngin', it was a 16-year-old.
Yeah. The kid was rapping.
Okay. First of all, why we didn't press the club for letting a 16-year-old in the club? That's number one.
True.
Number two, why we didn't press the club for letting a 16-year-old with a gun in the club?
Okay. Word up. I'll give you that. Because clubs do be letting underage people up in that joint.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of people who should have went to jail, but I'm not going to be advocating for Corey Miller to be on these streets.
Nobody would have
ever
gotten shot.
He's kind of a jerk. He might shoot you in Walmart.
And his
And I'm
name
not
has
exaggerating.
murder in it.
Really, really, like he was reckless when he was out here because he was like, my big brother's Master P and I'm rich. I do what I want.
I do what I want. Man. So with that said, I had one more thing I wanted to close out. We talked about part 1 last week. This week I want to bring it to y'all on part 2. The end of the awesome and extremely incomplete and just not up to snuff documentary for Tiger. If you haven't seen the Tiger documentary on HBO Max, you can kind of skip it. He's not in it. None of his family members are in it. None of his close friends that are around him now are in it. It's kind of hearsay-like stuff, and it's not. It's just, nobody's really close to him. But I will say, they did show the hypocrisy of like the news when it came out he was cheating. They showed like the complete hypocrisy of like people. You would have thought that he was just like murdering children in like the basement. The way, because we were like, oh, he had sex with another
You gotta
woman.
understand, right?
Do you know what he was doing?
Stay with
There's
me,
another
right?
woman.
You gotta follow the money.
True.
It was all about the money. Once he started losing them endorsements, them same people who had all just as many skeletons in their closet as he did, they got to start backing away. I'm not losing my money too.
Yeah.
You messed around and got caught. Why I gotta lose my money?
Now I will say this on the cheating side. Okay, you can't use your personal phone. I'm just saying. I forgot about that. You can't be using your personal phone
when you're making that much money. It's almost like you're making that much money, you don't care. Yeah. I'm pretty sure when the wife came at him with the golf clubs and beating up the car, he was just so shocked. I could see the look on his face, like
homie was bugged out when his wife came at him with the golf club, though.
I could see the look on his face, like, what is she doing right now? Does she know?
He probably was suffering from.
What is she doing right now?
He suffered from affluenza. His wealth did not let him know how bad he was messing up, and it's like, like, yo, like, dude, you really, because Tiger wasn't like low key about it either. It was like he'd go to Hooters and pick up chicks at the Hooters and.
And that's another thing, so funny, bruh.
He's a billionaire.
He out here picking up random, regular chicks. Like, I'ma just be. This is what happens when you don't have black friends. All right, I'm telling you right now. This is what happens, Tiger. See, when you don't have black friends, this is what happens. Because a brother would have been like, yo, my man, look, chill out. I'll get them for you. You chill. Because you're making way too much money for some TMZ to come through this joint, all right?
Right. So TMZ is looking for people like you.
Homie had his team fly a girl out to see him. What are you thinking? What are you doing? And then she was lying too. She was like, he told me I was the only one he loved. Shut up. He didn't tell you that. You're just trying to be on TV now. He didn't tell you that.
Tiger definitely was not telling them women that.
He was not telling them he loved them.
Tiger, I think the hypocrisy, I think it all came from you come in our sport, you dominate in our sport.
Yeah.
You marry a white woman, and you have the audacity to cheat on this beautiful blonde white woman that we've allowed you to marry.
Ding.
There you go. Whoa. Man, there you go. I'll give you that one. You right on that. You're absolutely right. And so the documentary in general is just not well put together because there's no like current people in his life, and he's not in there. It's not like Last Dance where, you know what I'm saying, you have Jordan there recounting some moments or reacting to some. Tiger ain't there, and then you don't have anyone from his current, situation there either. It's not like, all right, for instance, okay, the R. Kelly documentary, which was spread out way too long. They could have condensed it, but I understand Lifetime got to get that money.
He gave you 2 whole seasons of it.
Oh, bro,
2 seasons.
As an editor, you could have chopped off some of that. But anyway, they had like real people, like his brothers was in there, and like, yo, bruh, his brother, whoo, especially the one that had the tape with the white girl, it was just like, he could have took R. Kelly down way back then. But you got his brothers, you got his actual manager, you have people that were singing with him, you got people that were like right side by side, not like my friend from high school. It's like the closest person they had was probably his caddy, that had been his caddy for like years. That's about it. Everybody else was just like, come on, you don't know Tiger like that.
And that's what I'm saying, like, him and the caddy had a falling out. Alleged? No. I'm not going to slander.
Drop a P. Come on,
no.
Take him to the
him and the caddy had a big falling out.
Yeah.
And that's it's kind of funny to see the caddy is in it.
Yeah,
so it's like
the funny thing is the way he tells it is, Tiger was going through issues at the time, and he seemingly wasn't going to play any tournaments. So another golfer needed a caddy, so he reached out to Tiger like, "Hey, are you playing in this tournament? Someone else wants me to caddy." And he was like, "No, I'm not playing in this tournament. Go and do your thing." And then he said like 2 days before the tournament, Tiger then hits him up and is like, "I want to play in this tournament. If you caddy for anyone else, we're done." And he said, "But like, yo, man, I already said, look, I'm gonna be like this. Is the person you about to caddy for a billionaire? Because if they not, you gotta be like, you gotta hit it. You gotta call your boy up with the humble hands, like, my dude, I know I was supposed to caddy for you, right? And I love you, my dog, but
Tiger called me.
Tiger said I can't do it."
But
you want me to
humble hands, like.
But they say I don't know. They say that Tiger is notoriously cheap. Like they say never go to dinner with Tiger because he's never paying. Like Barkley aired him out a long time ago. Said Tiger is cheap. He's a terrible tipper.
Was Barkley a waiter in that joint?
Nah, but you gotta Barkley be throwing money like it's water. So when certain stuff you take from him, you gotta take with a grain of salt. Like Barkley he's notorious. Like he might be one of the biggest tricks in NBA history. But so sometimes you hear stuff, you gotta kind of take it with a little grain of salt. Man.
When I worked in Atlanta, Mike, I worked with a guy who played football with Bo Jackson and played basketball with Barkley. He's like 6'8", big boy. And the stories he had about Barkley, he was like, Barkley was a wild dude. He said even when Barkley went to the league, he said, I live here in Atlanta. Whenever they come and play, Barkley will come and stay by my crib because they were teammates. They were homies. They'll go out. He said Barkley was coming, and he said I left a key for him one night. Now this man's married with kids. Barkley staying at his house. He said he came home. Barkley had two snow bunnies in his bed.
Hold up, in the bed I sleep in?
Right.
Bruh, you couldn't go to the guest room?
And Barkley said, "Hey man," he threw a bunch of money at him and said, "Hey man, go get a room tonight. Don't worry, I'm gonna have everything clean."
Yo, Barkley, and I will say this: you have all of these, you got all of these like older players that want to talk about young players. On the real, if Instagram was around when Magic was running them streets, if Instagram was around, like, look, because it's well known that Magic got around. He got around the block. So if Instagram, if Facebook, if Twitter, if Snapchat was all that was around back when they was in their heyday, man.
Hey,
Look,
They say they didn't call him Magic because of the way he passed the ball.
mm.
Look, man, Magic. Yeah, clearly
Magic
Magic
loved the
was getting out.
ladies.
He was out there.
Yeah, he was
Magic
out in
was
them
for the
streets.
village.
Yo, look, Wilt Chamberlain ain't just hold up the 100 for one reason. You know what I'm saying? What I'm just saying, they was out there, and it's probably some single moms that got kids, don't know where their daddy at, but got mad basketball skills all around the U.S. all of them seem to be in cities where there's a basketball team at.
Yo, Sean Kemp, when he was playing in the league, I think they said Sean Kemp had like 12 kids.
Yo, Sean Kemp was trying to make a team, son.
Shout out to Sean Kemp though. He's in the he's in the cannabis business now. Shout out to Sean Kemp.
Hey.
Oh, what? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He was in the cannabis business back then too. But I mean,
you know me. I know statutes and limitations don't change. I mean, you know, times so much bad.
Allegedly,
I wasn't gonna put it on the man.
Allegedly,
I wasn't gonna put it on the man.
Just like, you know, like Patrick Ewing, allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Brother's nose was a little hot, but you know, allegedly.
Patrick Ewing was Jamaican.
You know
what did we expect?
I think you have the wrong center from Georgetown.
Ooh.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Ooh. Not my boy. Oh,
you
man.
have the wrong center from Georgetown, and that's all I'm going to say.
But
wait, we're not talking about Othello Harrington or Alonzo Mourning or
Alonzo. It's probably Alonzo.
No comment, fam.
No comment on it. Here it is. You heard it first. NERDSoul Sports. Alonzo Mourning like that nose candy.
I did not say that, fam. I did not. No. I did not say that, fam. Don't
be clipping that neither.
I did not say that, fam. Don't put that on me. Nobody.
Now I will say, on the real, I'll say this at the end of the Tiger documentary. You do see that, like, dude is a beast. Like, dude played with like a broken leg and a messed up kneecap and still won. Like you saw, like the dude, he's literally like a golfing genius.
Right.
But the documentary is like it's not well put together. I feel like I could have put this together because I don't know anyone in his life. And you think that HBO could have done better than this? Like,
yo, I think everybody's trying to borrow from that, from what The Last Dance did. HBO's like, let's try to do it with Tiger, and except Tiger ain't at that point where he want to talk about, like, Jordan's retired, and we knew these things about Jordan, but we ain't know him to the detail that we did. You know, they did the same thing like 2 weeks ago. Gary Payton and Sean Kemp sat down and had a conversation recounting and it was kind of cool. But it was funny because Gary Payton was saying, I really think we was this close to taking them Bulls, and Sean Kemp was like,
no, man.
Nah, I love that they're still close, man. They're in the cannabis business together.
Oh, I didn't know GP was in there. Go ahead, Glove.
GP got his own strain.
Yeah, of course he does. You gotta call it the Glove. It's gonna catch you.
GP got his own strain, and it's that.
Man, yo, Gary Payton was, to his credit, to Seattle's credit at the time, they were a dope team.
They really were, man.
They were a dope team.
I remember, man, they had Detlef Shrimp.
Shrimp was kind of sweet.
Sam Perkins, GP, Sean Kemp, like they had some hoopers, man. It was just really hard in the era with Jordan. Like, Jordan coming into the league, like The Last Dance really showed how much of a beast that boy was. And he was a monster.
Yeah, so much love on that one. So I'll say, look, Last Dance is still kind of like the trying to think of another sports documentary. Last Dance, at least right now, is the gold standard for documentaries. Don't be coming with some 2-part mess with Tiger. I mean, it was but then
and you don't
tried
have
to
Tiger. You
sensationalize
don't
it
have
for
none
the
of his
second
family.
part. Yeah.
You got his
not good
caddy
enough.
from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. His caddy.
Yeah, it's like it ain't good enough, man. Nah, man. It ain't good enough. You got to come stronger than that. Come on, HBO. You want people to pay for your service? Just come through with something. I'm just saying. I know you got the Denzel movie coming in like a week or two. I'm cool on that, so we good. We just look, Tiger. I was like, yo, let me learn about Tiger, and then I feel like I probably could have got this from YouTube. So, with that said, we have exorcised the demons fully to a certain degree. So, big shout out to everyone who came through. Tyler Bennett, Jenna James, Marquise Collins, was Blerdish up in here, and Blerdish also represented on the show. Thomas D. I might be missing somebody. Token came through for a second. Marquis Collins, I think I already said you. So, yeah. I think, look, if I missed your name, it ain't on purpose. Don't be getting mad at me. So, down at the bottom square, we have Mark Dub of Blerdish. Say what's up.
Yo, Mark Dub, part man, part thug. Use my heart for what hearts are made for, and that's the love. Hey, man, this was fun, man. Y'all can find me. I'm Mark Dub on IG. Just look for the strikingly handsome one, and then follow the guy under him because that guy's me. I'm Mark Wallace on Facebook. I'm really in them streets using my real name. Heaven help me. I'm Space Age 3K on Twitter. It's an old joke. Space Age Pimpin'. I really like that song. But anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Space Age Pimpin'. And then over here, conspiracies on deck. PL Parker Lewis, what's up?
I don't know about all these conspiracies on deck, man. Cause
you be knowing stuff. You be knowing a whole bunch.
They
of stuff.
I like it be true. I like it be like. Well, not for the sake of these arguments and purposes. Yes, I am conspiracy P because there's no validity to anything that I say. Yes, yeah. I just be talking stuff sometimes. You know, don't take me no seriously.
I like hot takes, man. I like all that. I like all that background information. Keep coming with it.
Shout out to Thomas D. He said, "Behind the Stripes, the Tiger Woods story." Oh man, I kind of want to see that now.
Hey, that's a good title. That'll be better than maybe the trike that HBO put out.
Yo, man.
It'd be at least as good. I didn't get his caddy, but I got somebody that wore one of his shoes when he played golf in high school.
Oh, man. They had like his first girlfriend and stuff. It was just like, bruh, come on, stop it. I'm surprised they found her. I'm like, how you find her? But, whatever. But with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. YouTube is the hub. Thank you for your support, chatting, liking, hitting that thumbs up, sharing and all that stuff, because sharing is important. It's extremely important. So hit that thumbs up if you like what you see. Hit that thumbs down if you don't. If you hit that thumbs down, that's right. I'm going to send Tiger Woods after you, all right? He got a brand new golf swing, all right?
Hey.
Upside your head.
Sing Karl Malone. He ain't doing nothing.
Oh, man. So, on the real, thank you for the support. If you got time after the stream, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Helps in the algorithm. Podcast if you want to listen, and Spotify for that music. Until next time, we leaving y'all with Arckatron. That's ARCKATRON.com. One more shout out to Justin for yesterday's Cash App. I got it. I see. Hey, we here. Much love to y'all and all the Patreon supporters. From us to you, we out. And peace. Yeah. And a woo for you. Yeah. And a woo for you. Peace, y'all. Yeah, and we out.